G'day boys, welcome back to another Escape from Tarkov video. Today we're looking at the best FPS and visibility settings within the new hardcore wipe. I'm not going to go into extreme detail, I'm just going to rattle all the settings off quickly for you all so you can get back to your own raids. As you can see, I'm sitting at 144 FPS in the top right corner. Hopefully you guys see a performance increase as well. Let's get straight into it. I'll run through these pretty quickly boys, they're not that important, but for the quick slots, always shown stamina, always shown health condition, always shown color scheme, polychrome. This is for a colored character model. If you want the gray and red, choose monochrome. Highlight available operations, everything auto, in raid only, so you don't double click stims in your stash and use them. Hotkey disabled, enabled, and then have the favorite recipes and zone upgrades turned on. Now for the automatic RAM cleaner, this essentially just clears your RAM memory. If you have 16 GB of RAM or less, I would have this turned on. If you have anything above that 32 gig plus, I would have this turned off. Essentially, it just clears your memory in game. If you're having long gaming sessions, you can turn this on, save, resume game, and it will clear the memory. And then after a few minutes, you can just pause and turn it off again. But as I said, it's not that important at the moment, so I would have it turned off personally. I only use physical cores. This essentially, when turned on, uses a single thread of your CPU. It's not that important. I have it turned off. For your FOV, personal preference, I would say somewhere between 65 and 75. Head bobbing, make sure this is turned to 0.2. This is the visual effect of your character model going up and down while moving forward. Malfunction notifications turned on, the rest is all personal preference. Graphics, we're gonna go use your native monitor resolution. Mine is a 2K monitor, so 2560 by 1440. And the native resolution is 16 by 9. I personally play slightly stretched on 16 by 10. Personal preference. Screen mode, borderless. I would say running it on borderless is better when you're tabbing in and out of the game. Full screen for a slightly better FPS improvement. Under texture quality, we're going to set this to medium for pretty much everyone. Unless you're running a very low tier rig, then run this on low. We're running shadow quality on low as well. For object LOD quality, 2.5. Overall visibility, this is essentially how far the render distance is for buildings and grass. I would say 1500. Clouds quality, this does not affect FPS, have this turned on high. Anti-aliasing, TAA high. NVIDIA DLSS, I personally have this turned off. If you have a NVIDIA graphics card and you want to try this out for better FPS, feel free to turn it on performance and select the K preset. Otherwise, I have it turned off. For AMD, for both the AMD presets, have these both turned off. You can play around with them, but I personally don't touch them as I don't have an AMD graphics card. Resampling 1x off. Max performance for HBAO, SSR on low. Anisotropic filtering on, and NVIDIA reflex low latency turned off. Sharpness 0.7, and then both the FPS limits maxed out. For the bottom options here, I would only have the streets package turned on. This essentially reduces your texture quality from the current preset to the one below it. So if I have medium selected, when I load into a streets raid, it'll set this to low. Same goes if you have it set to high, it'll set it to medium. I would recommend this turned on as streets is a very unoptimized map. We're going to move on now to POSTFX. These are my current POSTFX within the hardcore wipe. I would recommend you to try them out yourself. You can tinker them a little bit, but they work pretty good, especially for dark corners, moving into darker rooms. With sound, this is the settings I currently have selected. Controls, I'll just quickly scroll through my controls for you all. My sense is 0.21 and my aiming is 0.12 with 1600 DPI. Now we're going to quickly look at your NVIDIA color settings. You're going to right click on your desktop page, you're going to go to NVIDIA control panel, and what you want to do is select under brightness, have it on 75%, contrast, have it on 65%, gamma 1.32, digital vibrance 74%. Now I'm just going to make note that everyone's monitors will be different, so feel free to go into an offline raid and play around with these settings. The only thing I would suggest playing around with would be the brightness. I personally run my computer on night mode 24/7. This is much better for your eye health, and I would recommend everyone to do this if you play Tarkov for long hours. It reduces the blue light effect, so it's much better on the eyes for longer gaming. And if you have this night mode turned on, I would say have it on 75% brightness. If you have the night mode turned off, I would probably say just have it on around 55% brightness. But it's completely up to you. I would recommend to play with those settings. I appreciate you boys for watching the video today. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you don't miss any future updates for the settings within Escape from Tarkov. I appreciate you all. Have a blessed day, boys, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Peace.